Hello everyone, this is Al Red Sox Fan coming to you from Al Red Sox Fan YouTube channel, and we're going to bring you some Tom Vogel's Wrestling's Finest PC game as we revisit another wonderful game in the Al Red Sox Fan library. We have a wrestling card from the Springfield, Massachusetts Civic Center. Main event, Cody Rhodes taking on superstar Billy Graham. The co-feature, Father Dusty Rhodes taking on the protege to superstar Billy Graham, Brian Cage. Also, you'll see an action in tag team match between the Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkoff taking on FTR, Cash and Dax and Cash. I think I messed that up. Anyhow, Sheik Volkoff versus FTR. Eddie Kingston will take on George the Animal Steele. Darby Allin versus Jimmy Superfly Snuka. The Varsity Blondes taking on Dino Bravo, Dominic DeNucci in a tag match. One Man Gang taking on SD Special Delivery Jones. We will start off things here at the Springfield Civic Center. Danhausen with Jim Cornette in his corner taking on Alibaba. 15-minute time limit. Let's hit OK.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall.
It is scheduled for one fall, 15-minute time limit. Let's go to trade, and it's PC controls both wrestlers. Trade hold recommendations. None. Pre-action. All right, here's the matchup. Slight edge to Danhausen. Prediction, heavy favorite. John just doesn't shake his head and proclaim this match is a complete lock. Danhausen wins without hesitation. Jim Cornette has also stated that. Cornette very confident in the unique protege Danhausen. Here we go. The referee calls for the bell. Danhausen in control. Danhausen with a quick kick to the gut of Alibaba. Jim Cornette cheering him on, waving the tennis racket. Danhausen drops straight down with an elbow into the chin area of Alibaba. Excellent start for Danhausen. Danhausen brings Alibaba up, hits him with a chop in the chest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as Alibaba staggers backward. Danhausen in complete control. Jim Cornette cheering on, extorting Danhausen. Alibaba looks to rake the eyes of Danhausen and now puts him in a headlock, pounding away with shots into the cranium of Danhausen. Jim Cornette up on the apron, not liking that. The referee tells Jim Cornette, get your ass back down. Alibaba playing to the crowd. They are booing Alibaba. Both fighters, grapplers, circle one another. Alibaba now takes a look at Cornette. Cornette waving that tennis racket. Again, Danhausen cursing Alibaba at the moment. Danhausen seizes control. Danhausen looks for a roll-up reversal. Alibaba kicks out of it. Danhausen once again curses Alibaba. Danhausen delivers a series of quick chops, then with a leg sweep brings Alibaba off his feet to the canvas, drops the knee right into the upper chest area of Alibaba. Danhausen now playing to the fans here at the Springfield Civic Center. Now turns, tries to put Alibaba into a wrist lock, headlock takedown. Alibaba is able to counter that. Alibaba pushes Danhausen away and spits at him. Both grapplers circle one another. Danhausen Comes in with a leg kick and a chop. Now ties up Ali Baba's arm in an arm bar. He is raking it, really applying the pressure. Ali Baba goes down to one knee. Jim Cornette says, that away, Danhausen. When will Danhausen use the teeth and the kick? We shall see. Danhausen with a German suplex, now clamps on a body scissors. Going for a submission here. Ali Baba says no, no, and no. Ali Baba gets his leg on the ropes. He was able to maneuver towards the ropes. The referee breaks them. Ali Baba and Danhausen back to their feet, circling one another. Cornette says, finish him, Danhausen, finish him. Danhausen whips Ali Baba into the ropes. Drop kick right into the chin of Ali Baba. Down goes Ali Baba. Danhausen to the ropes. And a splash. He will go for the pin.
1, 2, and he gets
that is it. Danhausen is victorious in our opening contest here at the Springfield Civic Center. A jubilant Jim Cornette comes flying through the ropes to raise his protege's hand. Danhausen, what a victory for the odd but lovable Danhausen. A 1-2-3 pin. He had whipped Ali Baba into the ropes, caught him with a beautiful drop kick on the chin. Down went Ali Baba. Then Danhausen to the ropes, the splash, the 1-2-3. Victory for Danhausen and Jimmy Cornette. So an excellent job by Danhausen. Jim Cornette proclaiming Danhausen the next great thing in wrestling. So a tremendous win for Danhausen. Danhausen, who sells a ton of merch, will be signing autographs later out near the concession stands for one and all. Jim Cornette will be there for a slight monetary value, mind you. On a side note, I did meet Danhausen in person. He is actually very fun and very friendly. One of my favorite wrestlers. Again, he is a comedic wrestler, but he is enjoyable to watch. Still, I believe he's top 3 in AEW in selling merch, and they don't even let him wrestle on TV. Dumbasses they are. All right, who do we have here at ringside at the Springfield, Massachusetts Civic Center? We have Pop's Review. Hope all is well. Long time no see to Pop's Review. And we have Trav. Trav, big wrestling fan. So that is bout number 1 goes to Danhausen. I thought it was more than a half star. I enjoyed it. Let's see what the, let's save the match text. Hit OK. Post-match action. Neither wrestler does anything as Ali Baba is escorted back on the shoulders of a couple of referees. Danhausen playing to the crowd, taking pictures. Jim Cornette waving his tennis racket, saying, I told you so, I told you so. Bring them all on. All right, so match number 1 is over. Now, I think when we do match cards, let's go back to match card. And play the next match. So that's going to be One Man Gang versus SD Special Delivery Jones. One of my favorites, SD Special Delivery Jones. Jones will have a big mountain to climb. And that big mountain to climb is named the One Man Gang. Let's start the next event. So we have SD Special Delivery Jones. He'll be a big underdog against the One Man Gang. And we're going to give it a time limit of 15 minutes. Computer will control both wrestlers. And the one-man gang will have, let's give him Skander Akbar. Do we have Skander Akbar? Skander Akbar. Skander Akbar. We should have Skander Akbar. Yes. Skander Akbar is in the one-man gang's corner. SD Jones with no help needed, he says. Again, this will be a 15-minute time limit, classic match style prior to 2000. Here we go, and let's hit OK.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall.
One fall with a 15-minute time limit. You have the one-man gang with Skander Akbar in his corner taking on the fan favorite SD Special Delivery Jones. Let's go to trade hold recommendations. So SD will go from whips to the rope to speed moves, arm holds instead of throws, and turnbuckle instead of body slam. Okay, we'll trade the moves. And hit OK. One-man gang keeps all of his holds. And let's go to pre-match action. Heavy favorite, the one-man gang, but SD Jones says he shall shock the world. The referee will call for the bell, and here it is. SD Jones notices one-man gang interacting with the fans, and he is berating the fans. The fans are booing one-man gang. SD Jones picks up a chair, but the one-man gang is warned by Skander Akbar. Referee gets a chair away from SD Jones. Now he calls for the bell. Debris has been thrown in the ring towards the one-man gang. The referee is kicking the debris out as both grapplers circle one another. SD Jones has control. SD Jones with a boot to the stomach, a European uppercut, a Kanaka-naka headbutt, and now puts the one-man gang in an arm hold. I don't know how effective that will be. SD Jones trying to keep that arm hold, but one-man gang too strong, shoves him off. One-man gang lunges at SD Jones. SD Jones ducks underneath that, wiggles at him and shakes the finger. SD Jones moves forward. The one-man gang pushes him away. One-man gang now poses. He is a imposing figure. He is much stronger than SD Jones. One-man gang lunges at SD Jones again, and Jones is using his speed and frustrating the one-man gang. Skander Akbar screaming at Jones, "Fight, you coward, fight!" SD Jones rakes the eyes of the one-man gang and begins to try to choke him. SD Jones going right at the one-man gang, just as he said he would shock the world. Referee giving him the count. SD Jones breaks at the one-man gang. Now, a tremendous lariat. The one-man gang just took SD Jones right off his feet, setting up for a specialty move. Whips him into the ropes again. Booyah! With the clothesline, nearly decapitating SD Special Delivery Jones. One-man gang is in complete control. The one-man gang whips SD Jones into the turnbuckle, comes flying in, and just as I say that, SD Jones gets out of the way. The one-man gang goes flying into the turnbuckle. SD Jones now lands one jab, two jabs, three jabs, a right hand, and then the Kanaka-naka headbutt. One-man gang staggers back into the corner. SD Jones feeling his oats. SD Jones goes lunging in, but the one-man gang puts up the boot. SD Jones stumbles backwards. One-man gang trying to clear his head. Moves forward. The referee says, "Come on." One-man gang looks to take a swing at the referee. Referee says, "Hold on there, big boy." Action continues. 3 minutes and 52 seconds gone by in this 15-minute time limit. SD Jones comes in with a drop kick. One-man gang goes backwards again, and now SD Jones hits him with a forearm. One-man gang on the ropes. SD Jones, what's he do? Oh my Lord, SD Jones trying to put a bear hug on the one-man gang. You can almost see the one-man gang smiling and laughing. One-man gang claps the ears of SD Jones. breaking the bear hug.
Oh, boy,
SD Jones is in big trouble here. SD Jones. Now, what does he have? What does he have? Oh, my Lord, SD Jones has pulled something out of his pocket. Or his tights, excuse me. Skander Akbar trying to distract the referee. And here, one-man gang pulls something out of his pocket, but SD Jones nails him first. Oh, SD Jones had his own brass knuckles. And the one-man gang has just been lit up. His left eyebrow has been busted wide open with the right hand. SD Jones calmly tucks those knuckles back in his tights. The one-man gang is bleeding profusely. This is the shocking upset that SD Jones said he would put on the one-man gang. Fans are loving it here at the Civic Center. SD Jones says when you dance with the devil, you gotta be more devilish than the devil, and SD Jones has sure shown that to the one-man gang. Skander Akbar turns around, can't believe that the one-man gang is down on his knee and bleeding profusely. SD Jones pounding away with his bare fist, pounding away. Now the referee says, SD, you can't hit with the closed hand, and he warns the one-man gang. Why are you warning the one-man gang? Skander Akbar says. SD Jones comes in with a boot to the face of the one-man gang. One-man gang is groggy, still on that one knee, trying to get up. SD Jones, another boot to the face of the one-man gang. One-man gang now gets up, grabs SD Jones by the neck, and throws him backwards. Referee warns the bloody one-man gang. One-man gang just stares at him. Oh, his face is a mask of crimson. SD Jones has to regroup here. One-man gang sends SD Jones into the ropes. Off the ropes comes SD Jones. Booyah! With a big knee into the, I think it was the Franks and Beans. Skander Akbar says it was into the gut, but going face first to the canvas is SD Jones. One-man gang drops the knee in the lower lumbar region. Now turns SD Jones over and drops the knee right on the forehead. A quivering SD Special Delivery Jones. This has been one hell of a matchup. A bloody one-man gang is in rage mode right now. I don't know how SD Jones can come back from this. One-man gang picks up SD Jones, and boom! Oh my Lord, what a kick to the stomach. SD Jones grabs his abdominal region as he drops to both knees on the canvas. One-man gang spitting at SD Jones, walking around the ring, now wipes his blood and flings it off his fingers towards SD Special Delivery Jones. Nearly 7 minutes have gone by in this 15-minute time limit. The one-man gang now picks up SD Jones and throws him to the other side of the ring. Puts an arm wrist bar on him, drags him all over the ring, and drops the knee on SD Special Delivery Jones. The one-man gang picks up SD Jones, both hands on SD Jones's neck, holds him up high in the air, walks over to the ropes, now just dropped him on the top rope. A quivering SD Special Delivery Jones on the canvas near the apron underneath the bottom rope. Skander Akbar coming over. The referee tells Skander Akbar to back your ass up. SD Jones needs to go back into his trunks and grab those brass knuckles. He has to do it again. That's how he busted open the one-man gang. SD Jones said he would shock the world. The one-man gang now picks up SD Jones and boom with the right hand. Down goes SD Jones. Remember, the one-man gang also has brass knuckles in his pants, but it was SD Jones who struck first. The referee is clueless, doesn't realize both grapplers have foreign objects. The one-man gang again nails SD Jones on the jaw. Jones goes down with a big thud. Now he's looking to punish SD Special Delivery Jones. The one-man gang with a Cobra clutch sort of maneuver and then turns it into a slam. SD Jones looks all but out. The one-man gang sends SD Jones into the rope. Booyah! With a double axe hand chop. Down goes SD Jones. The one-man gang goes for the pin. Doesn't hook the leg, though.
1, 2.
And SD Jones just gets his leg on the rope. I didn't think he could reach it. Skander Akbar is screaming at the ref. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. One-man gang thinks he has won it. He gets up, arms in the air, but the referee says no, no. Now the one-man gang picks up SD Jones and starts unloading right hand after right hand into a quivering SD Jones. Every time Jones hits the canvas, the one-man gang picks him up and strikes him again. One-man gang takes SD Jones down to the canvas, really working the arm and upper shoulder area as he puts 1 knee, 2 knee, 3 knees into the back shoulder of SD Special Delivery Jones. Skander Akbar is up on the apron, arguing with the referee. SD Jones comes over. Skander Akbar, which allows the one-man gang to cold clock SD Jones from behind. Oh my Lord, what was SD Jones thinking? Skander Akbar doing his job as one of the best heel managers in the history of wrestling. SD Jones might have bloodied the one-man gang when he struck him with the brass knuckles, but now the one-man gang is a bloody rage. The one-man gang throws SD Jones into the ropes. Boom! A clothesline takes him right off his feet. The one-man gang is bloodied and laughing. SD Jones looks all but out of it. SD Jones gave it his all. Now the one-man gang again taunting the audience. As he does that, SD Jones regains his feet and hits the one-man gang in the back of the knee, dropping the one-man gang to one knee. SD Jones to the ropes, comes off. Mule kick by SD Jones. Puts the one-man gang on his back. Skander Akbar can't believe it. Skander Akbar can't believe it. SD Jones trying to catch his breath. He comes in with a jab, another jab. The one-man gang blocks the third jab. Boom! With a big right hand. The one-man gang lands on SD Special Delivery Jones. And then a knee into the Franks and Beans. An axe chop to the back of the neck. Down goes SD Special Delivery Jones. One-man gang pounding away with the soles of his boot. Finally, the referee backs him up. I don't know why he did that. Nearly 11 minutes gone by in this 15-minute time limit. One-man gang lifts up SD Jones, brings him over to the ropes, and drops him right across the top rope. Oh boy, his neck just really went off that top rope. SD Jones writhing in pain, rolling around, holding his neck. 11 minutes have gone by. One-man gang continues to taunt the crowd, taunt the referee. And now who's coming to ringside? Who is coming to ringside? Who is this? Trying to say, come on, SD Jones. Come on, SD Jones. Who is, oh, it is Bruno Sammartino at ringside. Skander Akbar pointing at Bruno, saying, you're next, you're next. SD Jones uses the distraction to get back to his feet. Double axe chop to the back of the head and neck of the one-man gang by SD Special Delivery Jones. Jones now putting the knee in the lower lumbar region, pounding away. And the referee and SD Jones, as Skander Akbar gets up on the apron once again. The referee looks to Skander Akbar. SD Jones goes into his trunks, and Bruno says, nail him with it, SD, nail it with it. And SD Jones pounding away once again busting open even wider the one-man gang as he uses the brass knuckles over and over and over again. Oh my God! SD Jones with those brass knuckles, it's a bloody mess on his hand. SD Jones puts it back in his trunks now. Good for you, SD. When you fight the devil, you gotta be worse than the devil, SD Jones said. SD Jones now, as the one-man gang goes tumbling into the turnbuckle, SD Jones goes in high with a knee and then rakes the eyes of the one-man gang. SD Jones, is he biting him? He's biting him on the nose! And now he goes for the Kanaka-Naka headbutt. SD Jones coming back. Can he take it to a time limit draw? Fans on their feet here at the Civic Center. SD Jones said he would shock the world. SD Jones, what is he, nuts? He now maneuvers the one-man gang towards the center of the ring. He makes the motion. He's going to suplex him. The one-man gang easily counters it, picks up SD Jones and slams him. A bloody one-man gang stumbles back into the ropes. What's he going to do here? One-man gang comes up, whips SD Jones to the rope, and wow, the one-man gang showing his agility, hits him with a drop kick. That should have killed an elephant. SD Jones is all but out, but the one-man gang just wants to punish SD Jones. He's now looking at Bruno Sammartino at ringside. The one-man gang sends SD Jones into the turnbuckle. The referee says break clean. He steps back, says he is, and oh, he put the boots into the balls of SD Jones and now begins to pound away with punch after punch after punch. SD Jones wilting in the corner. Skander Akbar goes to the top apron to distract the referee, and Bruno grabs Skander Akbar. European uppercut nails Akbar. Down goes Skander Akbar. Referee not paying attention to what's going on in the ring. The one-man gang whips SD Jones into the ropes and kicks him in the nuts. Oh my Lord. SD Jones down to the fetal position, holding on to his testicular region. The one-man gang picks up SD Jones, throws him across the ring. Referee still not paying attention as Bruno Sammartino has now picked up Skander Akbar and slammed him on the hard concrete floor here at the Civic Center in Springfield, Massachusetts. Time limit coming up. One-man gang taunting the audience, flicking his own blood at SD Special Delivery Jones. Now the one-man gang, as time limit is coming up, the one-man gang throws SD Jones into the ropes. Clothesline. Down goes SD Jones. The one-man gang takes one step back, two steps forward, drops the elbow across the chest of SD Special Delivery Jones. Here's the pin.
1, 2.
Oh my God! SD Jones! Bruno Sammartino grabs SD Jones's leg and puts it on the ropes. The referee didn't see it. Skander Akbar is out cold. The one-man gang can't believe what's going on. Bruno with a big smile on his face. Could this go to a time limit draw? SD Jones still on the canvas. One-man gang brings him to his feet, tries to choke him, and SD Jones, with what little strength he has left, kicks the one-man gang in the nuts. And the time limit has expired. This is a 15-minute time limit draw. SD Special Delivery Jones has done it. He has shocked the world. He may not have won the match, but he has busted open the one-man gang. Now the one-man gang looking to Pearl Harbor SD Jones, as Jones trying to catch his breath, hanging over the top rope. Bruno Sammartino comes in the ring and boom, hits the one-man gang, and down goes the one-man gang. Bruno scoops him up and slams the one-man gang, and mud stomps him out of the ring. The crowd is going insane here at the Springfield Civic Center in Massachusetts. Bruno grabs SD Jones's arm and raises it up. The fans are going insane here. SD Special Delivery Jones. Thanks, Bruno, for coming out at ringside. Skander Akbar just regaining his consciousness as Akbar and his protege, the one-man gang, go hobbling to the back. Holy cow, what a terrific matchup. No one saw that coming, but SD Jones said he would shock the world, and he surely has. He might not have gotten the win, but a time limit draw when all was lost. What a job by SD Special Delivery Jones, aided by Bruno Sammartino at ringside. Wow. No, we don't want to continue the match. Oh, that was more than a half star. Are they insane? They're insane. Save the match text. Okay. Post-match action. And we already told you, Akbar and the one-man gang hobble back to the dressing room. SD Jones and Bruno Sammartino celebrate in the ring. SD Jones, good effort by SD Special Delivery Jones. The fans are standing on their feet here at the Springfield Civic Center. All right, let's move on to our next matchup. As joining us here at ringside, we have Mark Kwan, 1976 Legends Sports Universe, Brock Riblet, Trav, Kevin Hayes. As Kevin says, Tommy's game is the best wrestling game on the market. Very fun game. I like it. Needed to show some more love to the game. I've played it offline, but I haven't played it online in a while. All right, so 2 matches down. Our next match, I believe, is the Varsity Blondes in a tag match versus Dino Bravo and Dominic DeNucci. So, match card. Play match card. Start next event. So this is a, well, that's fine, face versus face. We're gonna make this a 20-minute time limit. It's a tag match. Computers will control both tag teams. And we're gonna have the Varsity Blondes be a little more aggressive. They're going to wrestle a heel style against Bravo and DeNucci. And with tag matches, you don't see, it's a combination, so I'll just tell you who I think's in the ring. Nate says Cody's going to beat superstar Billy Graham. Well, we'll see, Nate. Hope all is well. No managers in either corner. And we're going to do... classic style prior to 2000. We'll stick with that. So 20-minute time limit. Let's hit OK.
The following contest is a tag team attraction scheduled for one fall.
One fall with a 20-minute time limit. The Varsity Blondes, that's Brian Pillman Jr. and Griff Garrison, taking on Dino Bravo and Dominic DeNucci. Trade hold recommendations, none. So we click done. Pre-match action. Prediction. Some people think this match can go either way, but I think Bravo and DeNucci have a very good chance of winning this match. That is our grappling insider at ringside. He likes DeNucci and Bravo over Pillman and Garrison. And here we go. Dino Bravo and Dominic DeNucci take control right away as they go right at Pillman and Garrison pounding away at the Varsity Blondes. DeNucci takes Pillman out of the ring. The bell rings. Bravo picks up. Bravo, tremendously strong, picks up Griff Garrison and slams him. He's going to go for the quick pin. Holy cow.
1, 2.
Oh my God.
And he
It
gets
is
three.
over. It is over. Dominic, DeNucci, and Dino Bravo have just annihilated the Varsity Blondes. As soon as before the bell rang, DeNucci and Bravo had heard enough of the Varsity Blondes chirping. I mean, they kept talking trash to Bravo and DeNucci, and they went right at it. DeNucci taking Pillman right out of the ring, pounding him away, booting him through the ring ropes onto the concrete floor. Continuing his attack, Dominic DeNucci struck Griff Garrison several times, scooped him up. Bravo, tremendously strong, slammed him on his back, taking the wind out of Griff Garrison. Not only out of Griff Garrison, but out of Griff Garrison's sail, and then quickly hooked the leg for the pin. 1, 2, 3. Dominic DeNucci, Dino Bravo, 45 seconds, wipe out the Varsity Blondes. But boy, were the Varsity Blondes talking a lot of shit. But they couldn't back it up. DeNucci and Bravo show them what real men are made of. Wow, the crowd is still in shock with that quick contest. That will set up Bravo and DeNucci for bigger and better things. The Varsity Blondes were hoping to jumpstart their career with this match with Bravo and DeNucci here at the Springfield Civic Center. Instead, their career has sunk to a new low. Unbelievable. DeNucci and Bravo wiping out the Varsity Blondes. Varsity Blondes not taking lightly. And what's going on? They both have chairs. Oh my Lord! They're pounding away with the chairs on DeNucci and Bravo, bringing them down to their knees over and over again. They are striking DeNucci and Bravo. But now, DeNucci and Bravo get back to their feet. They take the chairs away from the Varsity Blondes and they strike them over the head. Mayhem all through the arena here. Action down to the concrete floor now. Griff Garrison has a hammer. DeNucci hits him with the chair. Referee grabs the chair away from DeNucci, and they're just pounding away back and forth, back and forth. Griff Garrison obviously has the air back in his sails. Bravo clotheslines Brian Pillman. Wrestlers coming out from the back along with referees to try to restore order here. And finally, order is restored. So maybe we have not seen the last of the Varsity Blondes. They showed some testicular fortitude to say, hey, you can beat us, but we're not dead. Fans booing the Varsity Blondes as both teams are separately escorted to the back. Oh, Nelly. Wow, crazy action in a short period of time here at the Springfield Civic Center. Woo! We now move on to Darby Allin versus Jimmy Superfly Snuka. So that was crazy, that one. Dino Bravo slams Griff Garrison, gets a 1-2-3 pin 47 seconds into a 20-minute match, and then all hell breaks loose after the match. Chairs, hammers, punches, kicks, body slams. Wrestlers coming out from the back, referees coming out from the back. Order has been restored. The attendance has been announced. Packed house here at the Springfield Civic Center. 8,500. Our next match, Darby Allin, Jimmy Superfly Snuka. This should be good. All right, we're going to go, obviously, computer wrestler. We're going to give the time limit 20 minutes. And we're going to do this match AEW style. We're going to do this match AEW style because they're both sort of high flyers. Snuka will have this strength advantage. Snuka would have he has the advantage. In real life, I think, well, Jimmy Snuka's dead, I'm pretty sure, so Allin would win that fight, right? But if they were both alive at the same time. So 20-minute time limit. I think we're going to go AEW style match for this one. Up next, Eddie Kingston, George the Animal Steele. But this should be a good match here from the Springfield, Massachusetts Civic Center. Let's hit OK.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall.
With a 20-minute time limit, Darby Allin taking on Jimmy Superfly Snuka, AEW style match. Trade hold recommendations. No, I'm not going to trade that. We're going to keep the pile driver. That's I've seen Darby Allin put the pile driver on bigger men. We'll say no trade there. Pre-match action. Our ringside grappling connoisseur says, go ahead and pick a winner in this one, and I will take the other guy as we both have an equal chance of being right. So he's saying it's a coin flip between Darby Allin and Jimmy Superfly Snuka. Pre-match, Jimmy Snuka notices the referee paying very close attention to him. Snuka with an ornery look in his eyes. He might have been thinking about Pearl Harboring Darby Allin, but does not do it. The bell, Darby Allin in control. Allin quickly uses Snuka's momentum against him, whips him into the ropes, puts a knee into the midsection of Jimmy Snuka, and then with rapid hand slaps to the face of Snuka. Darby Allin again whips Snuka into the ropes. This time Snuka is ready. Tumbles underneath the chop of Darby Allin. Snuka locks up with Darby Allin. Snuka much stronger. He sends Allin into the ropes, and booyah with a beautiful drop kick. Jimmy Snuka really got good height on that. Clipping Darby Allin on the chin. Beautiful job by Jimmy Superfly Snuka. Snuka, several quick knee drops onto the chest of Darby Allin. He goes for the pin, doesn't hook the leg though. Here we go.
One.
No pin as Allin quickly wriggles his way out of it. Snuka still in control. They're going back and forth now with rights and lefts. Referee steps between them. Darby Allin takes advantage to rake the eyes of Jimmy Superfly Snuka. Lands a mule kick. Snuka groggily gets up. Darby Allin hits him with a chop to the chest. Takes him off his feet. Tries to roll him up.
1, 2.
And Snuka kicks out at 2. Holy cow. So Darby Allin comes quickly back to put a pin attempt on Jimmy Superfly Snuka. Allin unloads more chops into the chest of Jimmy Superfly Snuka. Allin again chops away at Snuka. Snuka sneering at Allin. Snuka throws a right hand instead of a chop. Allin rolls underneath, comes back with a drop kick. Darby Allin using his speed. Darby Allin was looking to take Snuka off his feet again with a quick maneuver, but Snuka was ready for that. Both grapplers circle the ring and stare at one another, looking for an opening. Snuka sends Darby Allin into the corner. Snuka follows it up with a chop. The referee gets in there, forcing Snuka to break, saving Allin some punishment. Allin moves forward. Jimmy Snuka hits him again with a beautiful chop to the neck. Darby Allin trying to get some breath into his lungs now. Snuka quickly grabs him. Snapmare suplex. Booyah! Darby Allin rolls towards the ring apron. Snuka, hearing the boos from the fans, takes his eyes off Darby Allin. Darby Allin outside the ring now. Snuka goes after him. Darby Allin and Snuka lock up. Referee says bring it back in the ring. Snuka throws Allin back into the ring. Allin rolls away. Snuka comes right underneath the bottom rope. He's back to his feet. Both grapplers back to their feet. Snuka lands a drop kick on the side of Darby Allin's head. Oh man, for what agility by Jimmy Superfly Snuka. Snuka sends Allin outside the ring, takes his head and rams it into the timekeeper's table. Now lands several punches to the back of the head of Darby Allin and slams his head once again into the timekeeper's table. Snuka takes Allin back into the ring. Shoulder breaker. Allin on the canvas. Snuka lining his shoulder, Allin's shoulder up, and he drops the knee on Darby Allin's shoulder. Jimmy Snuka sends Allin over the top ropes and onto the hard concrete floor. Jimmy Snuka is going insane. Jimmy Snuka has the timekeeper's hammer. He is pounding away on Darby Allin. He is pounding away on Darby Allin. What's going on here? It's insanity. Jimmy Snuka rolls Darby Allin back in the ring. The referee trying to get the hammer out of Jimmy Snuka's hand. Darby Allin rolls him up. 1, 2, 3. Unbelievable. Darby Allin wins with a roll-up pin. Unbelievable. As the referee was taking the hammer out of Jimmy Superfly Snuka's hand, Darby Allin comes up behind Jimmy Superfly Snuka, rolls him up, and there's the count. 1, 2, 3. Holy cow. What a crazy ending to that match. Allin quickly gets the hell out of the ring. Jimmy Snuka can't believe it. And we're watching the replay. Darby Allin actually had the tights of Jimmy Superfly Snuka. And the referee quickly, 1, 2, 3. That was one of the quickest counts I've ever seen. I don't know if there's some shenanigans going on with the referee and Darby Allin. But Jimmy Superfly Snuka did have the timekeeper's hammer. And as we noticed, Darby Allin is busted open. Another crazy match here at the Springfield Civic Center. That was crazy. I thought Jimmy Snuka was going to win that thing. And the next thing you know, it's Darby Allin with a bit of blood on his forehead rolling up Snuka for the 3 count. Referee had a big hand in that. I mean, Snuka obviously should not be using the timekeeper's hammer. Darby Allin took full advantage of Snuka grappling with the referee. Our next match, well, this should be a no-holds-bar. Eddie Kingston taking on George the Animal Steele. This is going to be good. Computer. Let's do 20-minute time limit. And this is... This is going to be a steel cage match.
In a civilized society, they use a cage.
Steel cage match between Eddie Kingston and George the Animal
They
Steele.
put criminals in it, or what they do.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall.
And we'll trade that because George the Animal Steele has no hair. One fall steel cage match, 20-minute time limit. Let's see what this is going to be. The ringside grappling prognosticator says, go ahead and pick a winner. This one, same thing. It's a coin flip, he says, just as in the prior match. And we saw a crazy ending to that, but there'll be no going out of the ring here. This is a steel cage match between Eddie Kingston and George the Animal Steele. George the Animal Steele's in the cage, Eddie Kingston in the cage, and George the Animal Steele looks to go right after Eddie Kingston. The referee mistakenly gets in the way and he's knocked down. George the Animal Steele, being unnerved by the boos, strikes Eddie Kingston once, but Kingston comes back with an eye rake. A European uppercut. Good job by Eddie Kingston. Eddie Kingston tries to lock up with George the Animal Steele. George the Animal Steele pushes him away. The green tongue comes out of George the Animal Steele. Again, George the Animal Steele not paying attention. Eddie Kingston taking full advantage, striking George the Animal Steele from behind with knees to the lower lumbar region.
He's cut. David.
Now Eddie Kingston is in control. A crazed lady fan at ringside somehow gets into the ring. What the fudge is that? Who is that? And pokes Eddie Kingston. Are those knitting needles? Eddie Kingston has a huge, ugly gash on the bridge of his nose. And she climbs out of the ring. I don't know if that really was a woman. Who was dressed up as that woman? It's revealed it's Captain Lou Albano. Oh my God. The manager who was not with George the Animal Steele at ringside was dressed up as a woman as he races out of the arena, and Eddie Kingston is bleeding profusely. George the Animal Steele now starts slamming Eddie Kingston, a bloody Eddie Kingston, into the steel cage.
Bleeding profusely.
Slamming his face over and over again, blood pouring from the forehead and above both eyes of Eddie Kingston. George the Animal Steele looking to set up the special move, trying to get the flying hammer lock on him, but Eddie Kingston dips down and is able to put George the Animal Steele over his back. Now it's George the Animal Steele on the canvas in the steel cage. A bloody Kingston falls backwards, trying to regroup, blood in his eyes. Kingston looking to, he hits George the Animal Steele right in the Adam's apple. Eddie Kingston takes George the Animal Steele, scoops him up, slams him, going for the Boston Crab and the submission.
One.
George Steele powers out of it. Both fighters trying to catch their breath here. Eddie Kingston Now kicks George the Animal Steele in the nether regions and sends him flying head first into the steel cage. Eddie Kingston has George the Animal Steele in the corner, landing shoulder block after shoulder block. You can see the blood on the chest of George the Animal Steele. That is the blood coming from the face of Eddie Kingston. 3 minutes have gone by in this crazy steel cage match, which we witnessed Captain Lou Albano climbing over the cage into the ring, dressed as a fat, ugly woman, striking Eddie Kingston with what looked like knitting needles, busting him wide open. George the Animal Steele continued to bust him open, throwing Eddie Kingston into the cage over and over again. Kingston, once again, now choking George the Animal Steele. He has George the Animal Steele on the canvas and he is choking him. Referee tries to break it up. Eddie Kingston breaks it up and drops the knee across the forehead of George the Animal Steele, stomping away with the bottom of his boots upon George the Animal Steele, going around his body, stomping and stomping and stomping. George the Animal Steele staggers to his feet. Eddie Kingston with a spinning punch nails George the Animal Steele, dropping the animal back to the canvas. George the Animal Steele, as Eddie Kingston brings him up, tries to put him in a chicken wing. Eddie Kingston counters, puts his knee into the labanza of George the Animal Steele. Oh, look at that hairy, hairy back of George the Animal Steele. Eddie Kingston now trying to set the animal up for a suplex. Wow, George the Animal Steele uses a counter and bites Eddie Kingston on the nose. George the Animal Steele biting Eddie Kingston. Kingston writhing in pain. George the Animal Steele has something in his trunks. He hits Eddie Kingston in the neck with it and now hits him with a headbutt. The animal goes for the pin in the steel cage.
One.
Oh, but Eddie Kingston puts his foot on the ropes. That is still a legal thing to do in this match. George the Animal Steele doesn't know what's going on. In his confusion and his weird way of arguing with the referee, Eddie Kingston is allowed to try to catch his breath here. Kingston still trying to get more wind into his lungs. George the Animal Steele sticking his tongue out, his green tongue out, at the crowd. George the Animal Steele now goes at Eddie Kingston. Kingston punches him in the stomach. George the Animal Steele comes down with an axe chop. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. Belly to belly suplex by George the Animal Steele. He goes for the pin.
1, 2.
Kingston kicks out at 2. 5 minutes have gone by, nearly 6 minutes have gone by. Steele again moves forward, puts the boot into Eddie Kingston's solar plexus, comes down with a double axe chop on the back of the neck of Eddie Kingston as Kingston is doubled over. Kingston, oh, with a nut shot! Kingston was down to one knee, and he nails George the Animal Steele in the Franks and Beans. Now he does a side roll-up. Kingston goes for the pin.
1, 2.
George the Animal Steele kicks out at 2.5. George Steele biting Eddie Kingston, rakes the eyes of Eddie Kingston and sends Eddie Kingston head first into the steel cage, over and over again, raking his face and hands across the steel cage as he is on the ring apron. Action back in the ring. Steele whips Eddie Kingston into the ropes, and a double chop throat thrust into Kingston's Adam apple. Kingston goes down. George Animal Steele sends Kingston hard into the turnbuckle, follows it up with a lariat, and continues to choke away at Eddie Kingston. The referee counts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The animal breaks the hold and then goes right back to choking Eddie Kingston. George the Animal Steele looking to set up his big specialty move. He's got the hammer lock on. He's got the flying hammer lock on. He is spinning Eddie Kingston. Will Kingston quit?
1, 2.
No! And George the Animal Steele flings him out of the hammer lock. Kingston lands on his back. George the Animal Steele drops the knee on Eddie Kingston. Kingston tries to get to his feet. George the Animal Steele with a mule kick. Kingston is down again. George the Animal Steele on top of Eddie Kingston. Kingston tried to make his way to the ropes. Referee breaks them. Both men getting back to their feet. George the Animal Steele moves forward and catches Kingston with a right hand and then an arm drag takedown. It was more like he grabbed Eddie Kingston and just flung him towards the center of the ring. Kingston taking tremendous punishment here. George the Animal Steele going to the turnbuckle, looking to rip it open. The referee's trying to stop him. This could give Eddie Kingston some very valuable time to recover. And it has. Eddie Kingston, as George the Animal Steele tries to turn around, Eddie Kingston kicks him in the stomach, hits him with a European uppercut, goes to the ropes, flips over him. It's a sunset flip. Eddie Kingston cinches up George the Animal Steele.
1.
But George the Animal Steele rolls out of it. Foot on the ropes, but he rolled out of it anyway. Nearly 10 minutes gone by in this 20-minute steel cage match. George the Animal Steele puts the abdominal stretch on Eddie Kingston, too close to the ropes, though. Now George the Animal Steele breaks the hold. Goes for the face rake. Kingston pokes him in the eyes, a la Mo Howard of the Three Stooges, and Kingston rakes the face of George the Animal Steele. Kingston drop kick nails Steele. George the Animal Steele goes stumbling back towards the ropes. Kingston approaches. As Kingston approaches, George the Animal Steele goes low with a European uppercut to the testicular region of Eddie Kingston. Eddie Kingston comes right back with a nut shot of his own on George the Animal Steele. Kingston, he's digging deep. Eddie Kingston digging deep. Kingston looking for the front chancery submission. I don't know if George the Animal Steele will submit. Kingston has it cinched in as hard as he can.
2.
But George the Animal Steele powers his way to the ropes. The referee breaks it. Good comeback by Eddie Kingston in this steel cage match. Kingston now takes George the Animal Steele down to the canvas with a quick move. He put some pressure on the back of George the Animal Steele's knee. Quite well done using the pressure point. Kingston taking the animal to the canvas and repeatedly drops his knee on the shoulder and hand of George the Animal Steele. Kingston brings George the Animal Steele back to his feet. George the Animal Steele rakes the eyes of Eddie Kingston, tries to get him in a hamstring stretch as he takes Kingston off his feet. George the Animal Steele drops the elbow between the leg of Eddie Kingston. Now switches into a wrist lock. He is trying to rip the arm and wrist right out of Eddie Kingston's socket. Picks up Eddie Kingston, kicks him in the groin several times. Kingston, you can see tears in his eyes. George the Animal Steele throws Eddie Kingston across the ring. George the Animal Steele stalking Eddie Kingston, waiting for him to get up, and he is choking him. He is choking him. Picks him up and drops him across the top rope. George the Animal Steele easily gets distracted. Without Lou Albano at ringside to keep him focused, the animal is distracted, screaming at the crowd, sticking his green tongue out. This is giving Eddie Kingston valuable time to recover. Animal moves back towards Eddie Kingston. Kingston with one punch to the midsection of George the Animal Steele. George the Animal Steele tries to choke him. Eddie Kingston slaps the arms away, rakes the eyes, brings down George the Animal Steele with an arm drag takedown and locks up the arm. Taking it to the mat, trying to slow it down. 14 minutes have gone by in this steel cage match here at the Springfield Civic Center. Eddie Kingston now holding that arm and smashing away with his free hand into the face of George the Animal Steele as Steele is still on the canvas. Steele powers his way up, hits Eddie Kingston with a back elbow and then a chop to the throat of Eddie Kingston. George the Animal Steele punching away on Eddie Kingston over and over again. Referee counts to stop using the closed fist, but the Animal doesn't care. George the Animal Steele lifts up Eddie Kingston and throws him into the steel cage face first.
Oh, boy, is he.
Oh, and he is raking Eddie Kingston's face across the steel cage. More blood. Now, not only from the forehead and above the eyes of Eddie Kingston, but his lip is ripped wide open. George the Animal Steele has once again gotten something out of his tights, and he hits Eddie Kingston low. Not bad enough. It's a nut shot, but it's a nut shot with a foreign object. Kingston goes down. The Animal pounces on him, but he does not hook the leg.
1, 2.
And Kingston somehow kicks out. Unbelievable. George the Animal Steele sends Kingston into the ropes. Double double throat chop. To the neck, down goes Eddie Kingston. The Animal on top of him, gouging the eyes of Eddie Kingston. George the Animal Steele now has Eddie Kingston. What's he trying? Oh, he's applied the Boston Crab. Eddie Kingston's got to get to those ropes. He's close. He's close, and he does. He gets to the ropes. Referee breaks the hold. Almost 17 minutes gone by in this steel cage match here at the Springfield Civic Center. George the Animal Steele tries for a suplex. It's a back kick into the balls of George the Animal Steele. Beautiful counter by Eddie Kingston. Kingston now with a spinning chop to the throat of George the Animal Steele and an arm drag takedown. Kingston rakes the face of George the Animal Steele as he tries to get up. Kingston rakes the face again. Kingston looking to land a haymaker. George the Animal Steele blocks it. Both men nail each other. They go down to the canvas. George the Animal Steele gets to his feet first. Eddie Kingston starts to get up. George the Animal Steele going for the chokehold. Eddie Kingston steps aside and throws him towards the ropes. The Animal comes off the ropes. Eddie Kingston puts on a rear chin lock, brings him to the canvas. Eddie Kingston pounding away at George the Animal Steele, a bloody Eddie Kingston. Now he has George the Animal Steele up in the air and slams him to the canvas. Picks up George the Animal Steele again and sends him into the steel cage. Slamming his head over and over again, and now he is punching away at George the Animal Steele. Eddie Kingston looking for the pin. What does he have? He grabs a chain out of his tights. He's choking George the Animal Steele. Now he's using the leverage of the ropes.
1.
Oh, but the referee sees it. 19 minutes nearly gone by. Both grapplers are exhausted. Eddie Kingston's a bloody mess. George the Animal Steele doesn't know what's going on. He's looking at ringside for Captain Lou Albano. Captain Lou Albano is dressed as a woman, climbed into the over the steel cage into the ring, stabbing Eddie Kingston, gouging him open with those knitting needles, and then hightailed it out of here. Eddie Kingston looks for a roll-up. George easily gets out of that. Seconds left. in this 20-minute time limit. Both grapplers going tooth and nail at each other. And now Steele whips a tired, bloody Eddie Kingston into the ropes and catches him with a big boot. George the Animal Steele should pin him, but instead he is punching away at the prone Eddie Kingston. Continues to pound away. Kingston, how is he still in this match? Seconds left. George the Animal Steele throws Kingston into the ropes and nails him with another double throat chop thrust. Down goes Eddie Kingston, and the time limit has expired. The time limit has expired, and they're going to say, let it go. They're going to let it go. George the Animal Steele's confused. Eddie Kingston from behind hits George the Animal Steele in the nuts with a European uppercut. Eddie Kingston with a suplex. Booyah! The roll-up pin.
1, 2.
Oh! But George the Animal Steele kicks out. The fans can't believe the match continues. Eddie Kingston now drops the elbow down, not once, not twice, but 3 times upon George the Animal Steele. But it's an exhausted Eddie Kingston, and he cannot take advantage of it. George the Animal Steele gets to his feet, rakes the eyes of Eddie Kingston, puts the boot in the midsection. A bear hug on Eddie Kingston.
1, 2.
Kingston claps the ears of George the Animal Steele, who releases the bear hug. Kingston rakes the eyes, lands a quick chop to the Adam's apple of George the Animal Steele. Eddie Kingston with a side headlock takedown of George the Animal Steele, slowing things down a bit. Now both grapplers back to their feet. Kingston lunges towards Steele. Steele staggers, sidesteps him by a miracle of God. Kingston goes into the ropes. They tie up. Referee breaks them. They're exhausted. This match has gone past the allotted 20 minutes. Eddie Kingston, boot into George the Animal Steele's midsection, picks him up and slams him. Kingston tries to throw George the Animal Steele in the ropes. George the Animal Steele reverses it. Eddie Kingston reverses it. Eddie Kingston off the ropes. Backslide. Backslide on George the Animal Steele.
1, 2.
But George the Animal Steele kicks out. Eddie Kingston trying to set up his specialty move. Reverse knife chop. George the Animal Steele counters it and nails Eddie Kingston with the right hand. George the Animal Steele sends Eddie Kingston into the turnbuckle, pounding away with furious punches. He refuses to stop punching Eddie Kingston. George the Animal Steele whips Eddie Kingston in the ropes and brings the knee into the midsection. Down goes Eddie Kingston. George the Animal Steele applies a rear chin lock, trying to cut the air off to the brain of Eddie Kingston. Referee says it's a chokehold. Orders the break. George the Animal Steele quickly eye gouges Eddie Kingston. George the Animal Steele is now really tiring, but can Eddie Kingston take advantage of this? Both grapplers exhausted. They've gone over the 20-minute time limit. The commission says continue to wrestle. They are exhausted. They tie up, not much action. George the Animal Steele now with an arm drag takedown into a wrist lock of Eddie Kingston. Keeps a headlock on him. Eddie Kingston, they're back to their feet. Kingston tries a suplex. George the Animal Steele counters it. Again brings Eddie Kingston to the canvas with an arm drag takedown. George the Animal Steele kicking away at the head of Eddie Kingston, who's on the canvas. George the Animal Steele picks up Eddie Kingston in a chicken wing, spins him around, drops him on his back, goes for the pin, hooks the leg.
1, 2.
Oh my God! Eddie Kingston somehow wiggles out of it and gets to the ropes. Both grapplers exhausted. Who can dig deeper? They get to their feet. Kingston a bloody mess. George the Animal Steele, I don't know how much stamina he has left. Eddie Kingston fish hooks George the Animal Steele's mouth and then rakes the face. Eddie Kingston slamming George the Animal Steele over and over again into the steel cage. Now punching away at George the Animal Steele. Kingston is exhausted. George the Animal Steele is exhausted. Kingston comes back with a jab and a right hand. Kingston, right hand, left hook. Those are closed fist punches. Now a kick to the groin. So many groin shots in this match. Kingston grabs both of George the Animal Steele's legs, takes him off his feet, hooks the trunks, feet up on the ropes. Referee sees it, says break. Eddie Kingston is exhausted, puts George the Animal Steele in a headlock, both men on the canvas. Eddie Kingston now gets George the Animal Steele to his feet, whips George the Animal Steele into the ropes, nails him with a drop kick, waits for George the Animal Steele to get up, chop, tremendous chop. Kingston takes George the Animal Steele off his feet with a football tackle, rolls him up.
1, 2.
And George the Animal Steele kicks out. Eddie Kingston can't believe it. Trying to go with a trapezes hold now. I don't know how that's going to affect George the Animal Steele. Now just a blatant choke right in front of the referee. Eddie Kingston's gone insane. Kingston sends George the Animal Steele into the ropes. Hits him with a splash. Down goes George the Animal Steele. Kingston to the top turnbuckle. Comes flying off with a double axe handle. The Animal's down again. Kingston goes for the pin.
1.
Doesn't hook the leg though.
2.
Gotta hook the leg. Kingston gotta hook the leg. George the Animal Steele kicks out. Kingston exhausted, tries to go for a suplex. George the Animal Steele counters it with a blunt right hand and a rake of the eyes. The Animal uncorks a right hand. Down goes Eddie Kingston. George the Animal Steele collar, elbow, hook up, takedown. But again, George the Animal Steele, without Lou Albano at ringside, loses focus. Eddie Kingston looking for something in his trunks. Winds up to try to hit George the Animal Steele. George the Animal Steele blocks it and comes back with a right hand of his own. George the Animal Steele now goes to his trunks. Eddie Kingston blocks that and comes back with a right hand of his own. Kingston gouges George the Animal Steele. George the Animal Steele gouges Eddie Kingston. Holy cow. Back and forth they go with right hands. They are exhausted. The next pinfall could be it. George the Animal Steele with a kick to the midsection, a right uppercut to the jaw of Eddie Kingston. Another kick to the midsection. George the Animal Steele picks up Eddie Kingston and throws him into the cage.
He is bleeding profusely.
Repeatedly rubbing Kingston's face into the cage. Kingston is a bloody mess. George the Animal Steele pounding away. Now George the Animal Steele hooks up Eddie Kingston, has him in that chicken wing, spinning chicken wing, slams him, goes for the pin.
1.
And someone has climbed into the ring. And the referee has called for the bell. What is going on here? A lot of confusion. George the Animal Steele thought he won. Captain Lou Albano has re-entered the Civic Center. And the referee now says he had hit the 3 count. 1, 2, 3. George the Animal Steele is the winner. A lot of confusion. As someone was starting to climb into the ring, the referee stopped him. but Sid, he had reached the count of 3. So they let the match go, and George the Animal Steele, I do believe, won this match, I think. Eddie Kingston is pinned 35 minutes and 40 seconds, so they went 15 minutes and 40 seconds over to get a winner. And both grapplers are exhausted. Kingston's a bloody mess. George Animal Steele is led out of the cage by Captain Lou Albano. Wow. We now move on to the Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkoff taking on FTR.
Proving just how dangerous it is and why nobody wants to get involved in a cage.
Computer versus computer. $15-minute, 20-minute time limit. And the match style will be classic match style. Freddie Blassie will be in the corner of Volkoff and the Iron Sheik. And Tully Blanchard. Tully Blanchard be in the corner of FTR.
The following contest is a tag team attraction scheduled for one fall.
Trade move. Okay, done. Ringside grappling prognosticator really put me on the spot with this one. Geez, I'm going to go with FTR, Cash Wheeler, and Dax Harwood. Why? No idea. All right, so the ringside grappling prognosticator is going to take FTR over the Sheik and Volkoff. Tully Blanchard in the FTR corner, Freddie Blassie in the Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkoff's corner. Here we go. Let's start the match. They call for the bell. Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkoff. Volkoff will start off against Dax Harwood. And right away, Nikolai Volkoff is able to land a big shot on Harwood. Quickly, holy cow, Nikolai Volkoff in the back press backbreaker slams Dax Harwood to the canvas, goes for the pin. Holy cow. One, two. Oh, and Dax Harwood just kicks out. Holy cow. But that shows the strength of Nikolai Volkoff. Volkoff delivers a kick to Harwood's head. Volkoff takes a swing and a miss. Dax Harwood looking to make the tag. As he rolls away from Volkoff, he gets out of the ring. Here comes Cash Wheeler. Wheeler comes in. So does the Iron Sheik. Wheeler with an arm drag takedown into a deep arm bar. Now he's going to try to turn that maneuver into a pinning circumstance on the Iron Sheik. What a wrestling move there by Cash Wheeler. But the Iron Sheik quickly gets out of it. Wheeler makes a tag to Harwood. Harwood comes back in. It's a beautiful double team effort there on the Iron Sheik. Pounding away on the Iron Sheik. Freddie Blassie complaining, but Tully Blanchard is keeping the ref occupied. as they are landing over and over again on the Iron Sheik in their corner, putting the boots and knees and fists and chops to the Iron Sheik, the man from Tehran, Iran.
It is a mess. Oh, he is a mess.
They are just pounding away. Tully Blanchard has given something to Dax Hardwood. It looks like brass knuckles or something. They're just pounding away and pounding away and pounding away, and they busted open the Iron Sheik. Blood coming from the nose and forehead of the Iron Sheik. Dax Hardwood tags in Cash Wheeler. Arm drag takedown. Volkoff needs to get in this ring. Wheeler pounding away with closed fists on the Iron Sheik. This has just been not a lot of wrestling, a lot of fighting. Now Tully Blanchard up on the ring trying to distract the referee. Freddie Blassie coming over towards Tully Blanchard. While this distraction is going on, Dax Hardwood comes off the top turnbuckle and nails the Iron Sheik once again in the top of the head with those brass knuckles. Wheeler tags in Hardwood. Hardwood gives Wheeler the brass knuckles. Takes a bloody Iron Sheik to the canvas in a rear chinlock. They're not letting the Iron Sheik get back to his corner as they drag him over towards their corner. Now, Nikolai Volkoff has seen enough. He's come into the ring. This gives the Iron Sheik a little bit of time to get away from the corner of FTR. Referee tries to restore order. He doesn't know who the legal man is. Nikolai Volkoff says, I made the tag. Volkoff nails Dax Hardwood with a right hand, sends him into the ropes, and a tremendous clothesline by the big Russian, Nikolai Volkoff. Volkoff presses Dax Hardwood over his head and slams him down, goes for the pin, doesn't hook the leg though.
1, 2.
And Hardwood kicks out at 2.5. Volkoff moving towards Dax Hardwood. Hardwood from his knees lands a couple of shots into the solar plexus of Nikolai Volkoff. Now gets to his feet, rakes the eyes of Volkoff, goes for the suplex. Unbelievable, he gets the big Nikolai Volkoff over. What strength by Dax Hardwood. He is exhausted, though. He's taken a beating early in this match. Volkoff goes for a kick, misses. Dax Hardwood with a somersault cartwheel thingy rolls back to his corner and tags in Cash Wheeler. Wheeler lands a drop kick on Volkoff. Volkoff goes stumbling to his corner, tags in the Iron Sheik. Both grapplers tie up, no action there. Now the Iron Sheik hooks up, tries to take Wheeler down. He is unable to. Iron Sheik whips Wheeler into the ropes and lands the pointed boot right into the midsection of Cash Wheeler. Iron Sheik tries to lock up, test his strength, puts the boot to him again. Wheeler rakes the eyes of the Iron Sheik. Both men go back to their corners, tag in the fresh wrestler. So in for FTR is Hardwood. Nikolai Volkoff comes in. It's Hardwood and Nikolai Volkoff. Volkoff lands a right hand. Hardwood comes back with a right hand. Nikolai Volkoff, another big right hand, scoops up. Hardwood slams him, goes for the pin, doesn't hook the leg. You gotta hook the leg. Hardwood kicks out. Let's see what Volkoff's going to do here. Sends him into his corner. Double team action. Referee trying to make him break clean, and they somehow do. Tully Blanchard coming over. Freddie Blassie threatening him with the cane. Koloff puts Hardward in a headlock, takes him down to the canvas. Nikolai Volkoff slams Dax Hardwood, tags in the Iron Sheik. Iron Sheik looks for the camel clutch.
1,
Dax Hardwood
2.
grabs the ropes. Iron Sheik misses the chop. Dax Hardwood gets to his corner, tags in Cash Wheeler. Wheeler circling the Iron Sheik. The Iron Sheik. What's going on here? Who's coming in the ring? Someone's coming into the ring. Volkoff, Iron Sheik, and that looks like a masked man. I don't know who that is, but he has interfered in this match. He has cold clocked Tully Blanchard, and they are beating the bejesus out of FTR. I don't know who the legal man is in the ring. It's Iron Sheik and Dax Hardwood. Back and forth they go with right hands. Sheik got the better of it. Now Dax Hardwood gets the better of it. And again the masked man comes in, and they have called for the bell. They have called for the bell. This time, I don't know who the hell that masked man was. It was a different masked grappler. And it looks like it is MJF. He has taken his mask off. He was attacking the Iron Sheik. Holy cow, FTR is DQ'd. That was a sloppy, ugly match. That one was a sloppy, ugly match, but boy, does that set up a grudge match between MJF and the Iron Sheik. As both sides taunt each other. We now move on to our co-main event, Brian Cage versus Dusty Rhodes. So in our sixth match, FTR are disqualified due to the interference of a masked MJF. Again, there was interference for the Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkoff, a masked man. I don't know who that exactly was. But is there a possible grudge match between the Iron Sheik and MJF coming up in the near future? All right, co-main event, Dusty Rhodes taking on the protege of superstar Billy Graham, Brian Cage. Then the main event, Cody Rhodes, superstar Billy Graham. Computer for both wrestlers. Dusty Rhodes is the heavy favorite, I would think, in this match. It is going to be a classic match prior to 2000. The time limit is 20 minutes. And we're going to hit OK.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall.
Trade move. Okay. Trade move. Pile drive. Cancel. I'm not going to trade that move. All right. Pre-match action. Well, the Ringside Grappling Observer says it's a complete mismatch. Well, we thought that about SD Special Delivery Jones and the one-man gang. We saw what happened there with the aid of Bruno Sammartino. but SD Special Delivery Jones, that was a bloodbath match, as he used brass knuckles on the one-man gang to get that time limit draw. Here we go, set for 20 minutes, the bell. Dusty Rhodes charges out at Brian Cage, but Cage meets him. Back and forth they go with right hands. They continue to pummel each other. Dusty Rhodes now lands the bionic elbow on the top of the head of Brian Cage. Cage staggers to a knee. Dusty Rhodes lands another elbow. Comes off the ropes. Lands a drop kick on Brian Cage. Dusty Rhodes now setting up another elbow. Cage moves out of the way. Brian Cage takes control. Brian Cage goes for the neck breaker. Booyah! He nails it. Cage goes for the pin. Doesn't hook the leg, though.
1,
Dusty Rhodes
2.
kicks out at 2.5. Holy cow. It was a quick start for Dusty Rhodes, but Brian Cage caught him with that neck breaker, nearly pinned him. Brian Cage drops the knee, not once, not twice, but 3 times into the right shoulder of Dusty Rhodes. Dusty Rhodes is brought up to his feet by Brian Cage, and Brian Cage windmills 2, 3, 4 punches into the jaw of Dusty Rhodes. Rhodes down to one knee. Brian Cage flexes, turns back towards Dusty Rhodes, and whacks him again. Rhodes goes down hard. Brian Cage starts putting the boots to Dusty Rhodes, but again starts to flex to the crowd. He's a protege of superstar Billy Graham. Crowd is booing. Brian Cage turns around to put the boot to Dusty Rhodes. Dusty Rhodes catches it, spins him around, and hits him with an elbow. Dusty Rhodes takes Brian Cage out of the ring as he throws him over the top rope. Now on the concrete floor, puts Cage up in the vertical suplex. Boom! Hard on the concrete floor. Dusty Rhodes rolls Cage back into the ring. Dusty Rhodes doing his Dusty Rhodes shuffle. This could give Cage some time to recoup. Dusty Rhodes drops the leg across the neck of Brian Cage. Dusty Rhodes gets Cage to his feet, hits him with an elbow, sends him into the ropes. Double throat chop thrust. Cage down again. Dusty Rhodes looks to throw a punch. Cage counters. Rakes the eyes of Dusty Rhodes. Dusty Rhodes taking some punches from Brian Cage. Rhodes shaking his head, no, no, no. Cage continues to pound away. Rhodes says, no, no, no. Someone has come out. It's superstar Billy Graham. He has the main event match with Cody Rhodes, but he has come out to encourage Brian Cage and said, after I kick your son's ass, it's going to be your ass I kick, you fat bastard, to Dusty Rhodes. That distraction allows Brian Cage to Pearl Harbor Dusty Rhodes. Rhodes is sent out of the ring, and now Brian Cage takes a chair to Dusty Rhodes' back of the head. Sends Dusty Rhodes back into the ring. Still with the chair, and drops it on his leg. Oh my Lord, the referee could have called for the bell there. Brian Cage winds up to hit Rhodes with the chair again. He misses. The chair is grabbed by the referee, and Dusty Rhodes comes back with 1, 2 jabs and a right hand on Brian Cage. Dusty Rhodes wrist lock takedown, repeatedly ramming the knee into the back shoulders of Brian Cage. Now he has him down with both arms pinned behind him and has turned this into a pinning move. Dusty Rhodes goes for the pin. Cage powers out of it. 7 minutes gone by, 20-minute time limit. Dusty Rhodes scoops up Brian Cage and body slams him. Dusty Rhodes moves onto Brian Cage, lifts Cage up, and as he does, Cage rakes the eyes and lands a solid chop into the chest of Dusty Rhodes. Cage rakes the eyes again, lands a tremendous right hand. Not once, not twice, not 3 times, 4, 5 times into the head of Dusty Rhodes. Cage shaking his hand now. He's shaking his hand. Did he bust his hand? Can Dusty Rhodes take advantage of this? Cage complaining his hand hurts. Dusty Rhodes, boom, with a big bionic elbow to the top of the head. Cage down to one knee. Boom, with another big bionic elbow. Dusty Rhodes scoops up Brian Cage. It's a running slam. Dusty Rhodes covers him up.
1, 2.
And Cage somehow kicks out of it. That right hand is really bothering him. Cage, with all of his strength, sends Dusty Rhodes into the turnbuckle and now pounding away with right forearms, not the right hand. Cage steps on Dusty Rhodes' foot and continues to pound away with forearms to the jaw of Dusty Rhodes, referee trying to break him. Cage now choking Dusty Rhodes with his left hand. Cage sends Dusty Rhodes into the ropes. Lands a drop kick. You can see Cage as he's getting up favoring the right hand and comes in with a right forearm into the jaw of Dusty Rhodes. Cage making a nice comeback here. Cage puts the boot to Dusty Rhodes. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. And then using leverage behind Rhodes' knee, takes Rhodes to the canvas, drops the knee right into the lower lumbar region of the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. Cage continues to drop the knee over and over again. He's really favoring that right hand. He's not throwing it anymore. Now, Brian Cage throws Dusty Rhodes into the ropes, winds up. He's going to throw one more right hand. Rhodes ducks underneath, goes to the ropes himself, comes off with a body splash. Dusty Rhodes gets up, drop kick, sends Brian Cage out of the ring, off the apron, onto the concrete floor. Dusty Rhodes from the apron, measuring with the elbow, comes off. Booyah! With an elbow to the top of the head of Brian Cage. Action moves back into the ring. Referee tells him to keep it clean. Dusty Rhodes gyrating and jive talking to an injured Brian Cage. Cage throws a left hand and then a right hand, and you can see Brian Cage grimace in pain. He did connect with those punches. Brian Cage now throws a left chop to the throat of Dusty Rhodes. There's no quitting Brian Cage, the protege of superstar Billy Graham. Brian Cage, look at the strength, even with a bad right hand, slams Dusty Rhodes. Cage looks to drop the elbow. Dusty Rhodes moves out of the way. Rhodes gets to his feet. Cage gets to his feet. Rhodes sends Cage into the ropes and hits him with a high knee. Down goes Brian Cage. Dusty Rhodes measures and drops the elbow. Gets up, measures, and drops the elbow. Rhodes picks up Cage and drops him across the top rope. Dusty Rhodes sends Cage into the ropes, kicks him in the nuts. DDT goes for the pin.
1, 2.
And Cage kicks out at 2 3/4. Superstar Billy Graham coming back towards the ring, clapping his hands, saying, "Come on, Brian." Dusty Rhodes can't believe it. Dusty Rhodes has Brian Cage's right arm and hand pinned to the canvas, and he's dropping his knee over and over again on the shoulder and hand of Brian Cage. This is a very vindictive Dusty Rhodes. Dusty Rhodes looking to set up his specialty. Brian Cage sent to the ropes. Dusty Rhodes with a big boot. Down goes Brian Cage. Dusty Rhodes setting up the Stardust Bionic elbow drop. High up in the air, comes down. Boom! Hooks the leg. This could be it.
One.
Intervening illegally.
Oh, and here comes Superstar Billy Graham. Superstar Billy Graham comes in with a chair. And he starts pounding away on Dusty Rhodes. He's in the main event. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And here comes Cody Rhodes to help his father. Brian Cage has something in his left hand, and he cold clocks Cody Rhodes. They are taking it to the Rhodes. Graham and Cage are taking it to Cody Rhodes and Dusty Rhodes. Unbelievable chaos in the ring. The bell has rung. Both wrestlers have been DQ'd. I did think that Superstar Billy Graham hit the ring first with that chair when Dusty Rhodes looked like he was going for the pin. But Cody Rhodes was not that far behind him. Both Brian Cage and Dusty Rhodes have been disqualified. But Dusty Rhodes and Cody Rhodes have taken a beating before help has come from the back to stop the savage attack by Superstar Billy Graham and Brian Cage. Brian Cage really favoring that right hand that I believe was broken during this match with Dusty Rhodes. We will now go to the main event and seem to have started early. So Cody Rhodes and Superstar Billy Graham will reacquaint themselves in the main event. Unbelievable. We now go to the main event. A singles match, Cody Rhodes versus Superstar Billy Graham. And we have just been told it is a no DQ match. A no DQ match. A 30-minute time limit. Lights out, no DQ match.
Are not sanctioned by the NWA.
Unbelievable.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall.
As the lights will go out and then come back on, it is not sanctioned. This has just been made a no DQ lights out match. Ladies and gentlemen, the regular sanction action is about to end. The arena lights will be turned off briefly. This signifies the end to the regular show. When the arena lights come back on, stay tuned for an unsanctioned lights out match. As this is a toss-up. This is a toss-up, they're saying. And I think both wrestlers can go right at it. And here they go. They go right at it. Back and forth, just pounding away. As Graham and Rhodes interfered in the co-main event, Dusty Rhodes and Brian Cage, Cody Rhodes on behalf of his father, Superstar Billy Graham on behalf of his protege, Brian Cage, a man who he did defeat, and then said, "I can guide your career, Brian." So back and forth they go. Cody Rhodes now tries an arm drag takedown. He does, puts Billy Graham in a wrist lock and starts pounding the knee into the back of the muscular shoulders of Superstar Billy Graham. Cody Rhodes pounding away as he has Graham in a headlock. Cody Rhodes wants to annihilate Superstar Billy Graham. Billy Graham whips Cody Rhodes into the ropes.
He is bleeding profusely.
And Cody Rhodes comes off the ropes. Billy Graham has a foreign object in his hand, cold clocks Cody Rhodes and has bust him wide open. Blood pouring down above his left eye. Holy cow, Billy Graham is taking it to the streets. Billy Graham goes for the pile driver, but Cody Rhodes backflips him out of it. A bloody Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes, Billy Graham going back and forth with punches. Cody getting the best of it there. Cody Rhodes puts Billy Graham in a headlock, trying to catch his breath. You can see the blood in the face, on the face, in the face, in the eyes of Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes now takes down Billy Graham. Graham tries to get up. Cody Rhodes meets him with a beautiful chop to the neck. Graham staggers back a bit. Cody Rhodes, with a hip lock takedown of superstar Billy Graham, turns it into a rear chin lock, trying to wear down the much larger superstar Billy Graham. Cody Rhodes, as Graham powers his way back to his feet, sends superstar Billy Graham into the ropes, and Cody hits superstar Billy Graham with a drop kick. Cody Rhodes again puts superstar Billy Graham into a headlock and pounds away with the right hand into the face of superstar Billy Graham. And now cranking away with that headlock, superstar Billy Graham picks up Cody Rhodes and drops him on his knee. That's one way to break a headlock. Superstar Billy Graham.
This is what we're talking about. This is pure ultra violence.
Sends Cody Rhodes.
This is insane.
He goes. What's he going to the timekeeper's table? Picks up the ringside bell and clocks Cody Rhodes in the head.
Steel guardrails.
And now Cody Rhodes is busted open over the right eye. Blood all over the face of Cody Rhodes. Superstar Billy Graham just tosses the ringside bell aside. Superstar Billy Graham throwing the sweat at the fans, not paying attention to Cody Rhodes, who has rolled back into the ring. Here comes superstar Billy Graham, very nonchalantly, and Cody Rhodes is all over him. But trying to land the face buster, superstar Billy Graham knew what he was doing, easily counters it, and slams Cody Rhodes. Superstar Billy Graham setting Cody Rhodes up. Cody Rhodes slowly getting up. Superstar Billy Graham clamps on the bear hug. He is trying with those python arms to choke the life out of Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes, will he give up? Will he give up? No, he claps the ears of superstar Billy Graham. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. And finally, Graham relents and drops Cody Rhodes as superstar Billy Graham staggers back into the ropes. Superstar Billy Graham moves forward, puts Cody Rhodes in a headlock, and pounding away with the closed fists over and over and over again. Superstar Billy Graham picks up Cody Rhodes and throws him over the top rope onto the concrete floor here at the Springfield, Massachusetts Civic Center. Superstar Billy Graham slowly makes his way out of the ring to the concrete floor, picks up a bloody Cody Rhodes and slams him into the post. Now he takes him to the next post and slams him into the next post. Superstar Billy Graham flexes for the crowd. Rolls Cody Rhodes back into the ring. Superstar Billy Graham slowly gets back in the ring. Again, flexing for the crowd. A bloody Cody Rhodes still on his knees. Superstar Billy Graham slowly moves towards Cody Rhodes, but he's a little too slow. Cody Rhodes leaps up and nails superstar Billy Graham under the chin in the neck, and now goes once again for the Crossroads face buster, but superstar Billy Graham, even after he's staggered by that throat punch, is able to counter it with just his pure power. Superstar Billy Graham winds up with a right hand blocked by Cody Rhodes. Rhodes comes back with a right, left. Graham down to a knee. Cody Rhodes lifts up Billy Graham to his feet, tries to slam him. He cannot get the big Billy Graham up. Billy Graham rakes the eyes of Cody Rhodes. Superstar Billy Graham puts a knee into the sternum of Cody Rhodes and now applies the full Nelson. Rhodes gets his leg on the ropes. They break. Superstar Billy Graham leaves the ring. He is strutting like a peacock around the Springfield Civic Center, around that ring, taunting the fans. He does have fans here, though. He goes over and shakes several of his fans' hands. Now Superstar gets back in the ring. Cody Rhodes, he should be going after Cody. This is giving Cody valuable time to recuperate. Cody Rhodes, again, comes in with a right hand and tries to scoop up Superstar Billy Graham. Billy Graham chops down with both fists together in an axe smash. Cody Rhodes down to a knee. Superstar Billy Graham cinches Cody Rhodes' trunks and puts him in a suplex. Booyah! Superstar Billy Graham again poses for the crowd. Turns around, throws a punch. Cody Rhodes ducks underneath, comes back with 2 jabs and a right hand. Cody Rhodes, again with 2 jabs and a right hand. Superstar Billy Graham can't believe it. Cody Rhodes moves forward, but he's met by the boot of Superstar Billy Graham. Billy Graham trying to catch his breath. Nearly 10 minutes have gone by in this 30-minute time limit. Billy Graham now trying to set up the pile driver. Cody Rhodes once again counters that by flipping Billy Graham over his back. Rhodes down to his knee. He had to use a lot of strength there. Who's going to recover first? It's Cody Rhodes.
He's cut.
Cody Rhodes banging away on Superstar Billy Graham. And now it's Cody Rhodes' turn to go get the ring bell. And booyah! Over and over again, whacking away at Superstar Billy Graham. The referee finally grabs that away from Cody Rhodes, but now Billy Graham is busted wide open. Cody Rhodes, what strength! He puts Billy Graham straight up in a vertical suplex, and booyah! Cody Rhodes going for the pin.
1, 2.
And Superstar Billy Graham kicks out at 2 3/4. Cody Rhodes once again tries to go for the suplex. This time Billy Graham hooks the leg and rakes the eyes of Cody Rhodes. Billy Graham takes up Cody Rhodes and he vertical suplex Cody. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Cody Rhodes and Graham slow to get up. Rhodes gets to his feet first. And now they are battling tooth and nail through the ropes onto the concrete floor. It is a savage battle going around the ring and out through the arena. Up one aisle, down the other aisle, back towards the ring as they smash away at each other. Holy cow. Rhodes sends Graham back into the ring. Can he take advantage of this? Cody Rhodes looking to set up his specialty. Cody Rhodes from the top turnbuckle on a prone Superstar Billy Graham. Nails him with a drop down punch. Covers him up but fails to hook the leg.
2.
And there, that's why you hook the legs, folks. Superstar Billy Graham gets his leg on the ropes. 12 minutes have gone by in this match, scheduled for 30 minutes. Both bloody wrestlers tie up, no action there. Now Superstar Billy Graham puts the knee into the nether regions of Cody Rhodes, rolls him up for a pin after the low blow. 1, 2, and Cody Rhodes kicks out. What testicular fortitude showed by Cody Rhodes after getting hit in the testicular area. Superstar Billy Graham still in control. Superstar Billy Graham pounding away, throws Cody Rhodes out of the ring. Superstar Billy Graham on the top apron. Now he climbs up on the top turnbuckle, comes down with an axe smash on Cody Rhodes, who crashes to the concrete floor. Both grapplers very bloody. Superstar Billy Graham rolls Cody Rhodes back in the ring, but he's too slow to do anything. Cody Rhodes lands a chop onto the chest of Superstar Billy Graham, blood pouring from both faces of these grapplers. Cody Rhodes, drop kick, sending Superstar Billy Graham into the ropes. Graham comes off the ropes. Cody Rhodes rolls him up in a small package, but Billy Graham quickly kicks out of it. 14 minutes gone by. Cody Rhodes trying for the figure four, but Superstar Billy Graham kicks him away. Cody Rhodes is exhausted and bloody. Superstar Billy Graham is exhausted and bloody. They're going tooth and nail with rights and lefts and rights and lefts, but then Superstar Billy Graham puts the knee to the sternum, and Superstar Billy Graham takes some coins out of his trunk. What is that? Boom! And he nails Cody Rhodes, and he pins him. 1, 2, 3. Superstar Billy, you saw coins go flying. He took a roll of coins out of his trunks. He's already used, I believe it was early in the match, it looked like some sort of brass knuckles, and this time it was a roll of coins, and he has just knocked out Cody Rhodes, flopped on top of him, got the 1, 2, 3. Superstar Billy Graham has defeated the son of Dusty Rhodes, Cody Rhodes, at the 14-minute, 34-second mark of this no DQ lights out match. Coming from the back is Dusty Rhodes into the ring. Billy Graham retreats, saying, "You're next, you fat bastard." What a wild card of action we had here at the Springfield Civic Center. So there you have it. In the main event, what turned out to be a lights out, no DQ match, Superstar Billy Graham uses a roll of coins to knock Cody Rhodes cold and pin him in a bloodbath match. I'd like to thank Morris Johnson, Nate, Marquand 1976, Legend Sports Universe, Brock Riblet, Trav, Kevin Hayes, Pops Review. Thank you very much. We had some fun. I wanted to do this. My voice is gone, but I had fun. So thank you. Stay safe, be smart, treat people the way you want to be treated. This is Tom Vogel's Wrestling's Finest. I really do enjoy this game. Check it out if you can. I don't know if it's still available. I hope so. It's a very good game. Some people think the price point is high, but you get thousands upon thousands of wrestlers in one shot. So, all right. Well, take care. Bye-bye. God bless.